Hey guys, it's a new day and it's a new debate about the current balance of the game. And I do apologize to everyone that found my yesterday's video offending. I certainly didn't mean to offend anyone. I am a very sensible person in real life, actually. There are some things that obviously triggers me, some things that triggers everyone. But today we're gonna be talking about how we got baited, absolutely bamboozled from the test servers compared to what we see now on the live server. And do not mind the fireplace crackling in the background. It is winter, however. So let's talk about the actual situation. Yesterday's video was purely based on my experience from the test servers, and I gotta admit, out of those approximate 6 to 10 hours I invested streaming and playing the test server number 3 and test server number 4, the matchmaking was working as I would imagine. Literally as I would imagine. Imagine having a tier 1 lineup, which we have here in the presets, and you would go to a game and you would literally get matchmaking where are only tier 1s and tier 2s, and it was joyful. It was really fun. It was dynamic. It felt fair and balanced. Then we played some tier 2s. I've got some of the videos from the streams on my channel. Imagine playing tier 2s. You get down tiered, you play together with tier 1s. Sometimes you get up tiered, you play with some tier 3s. And again, it felt very balanced and very fair and very dynamic. Like, it was really good. And then there's a wild card of the tier 3. The tier 3 in the ideal condition would go up a tier and down a tier. So basically, if you are down tiered, then there would be only tier 2 and tier 3 in the game, which again would create a similar kind of very proactive and nice kind of balance in the game. Obviously, tier 2s might feel that they've missed out on, but you win some, you lose some. Sometimes you're going to be top tier, sometimes you're going to be a bottom tier. Unless you constantly play tier 1, then you're always going to verse tier 2s, ideally only tier 2s. And in some cases, the tier 3 equipment is actually quite comparable to tier 4. Like some of the planes, like I have planes that I will still bring out in tier 3 and tier 4, and they are like tier 1 and 2. So there's that. And then the tier 4 is an interesting situation. A tier 4 is a tier that hopefully sometimes gets a down tier to a tier 3. So there is a sense of tier 4 being needed at all, because at the current state of the game, it'll always get up tier to tier 5. Speaking of generally USA versus Germany is tricky to deal with tiger 2s and some other aspects. I really hope that the tier 4 will get some of the tier 3 games. Ideally, tier 5 hopefully would have enough players to have matchmaking consisting only from tier 5s. That would be pretty cool. Obviously, I don't think that's really possible to manage like so. Maybe there's really not so many players at every moment that you're playing, but the basics are very clear. If every tier can go one up and one down, randomly as it would make sense. Sometimes you get up tiered, sometimes you get down tiered. Overall, it feels fair and balanced. Again, obviously tier 1 and tier 5 being exceptions, where tier 1 cannot be down tiered because that's the first tier, and tier 5 can't be up tiered because it is tier 5. It's a top tier. What is the reality at the current game? So as much as we had fun streaming the test servers, you've all been into the game right now, and anything above tier 3 is pretty much a bit of a clusterfuck at the moment. Enlisted already yesterday posted that they're working on fixing, changing, balancing and all that stuff. So in my mind, I would really want, even especially those people that felt offended yesterday, to those people that felt offended yesterday by my video and things I said, I would really just urge you just to give a chance for this merge, just to give a chance for the game, give it the time to smooth out all the bumps of the merge, and it will be okay. I truly hope and believe it's gonna be okay. And then if you still don't like the game, then fair enough, then you just don't like the game, that's it. But now, what's playable right now? So from yesterday's experience in the live server, tier 1 and tier 2, they get matched up together quite frequently, so that is pretty much where all the fun lies. That's something that you can almost reliably play and have fun. So the tier 3 was all over the place yesterday. Every time playing a tier 3, you would see tier 5 lineups constantly, and that is wrong. That's unbalanced. That's absolute suffering for a tier 3 player. It's a bit of a stretch. Even thinking about tier 3 and tier 4 gameplay is a tough fight. But stretching it to tier 5, it's totally, it should not be like that. I truly think that tier 3 shouldn't go higher than tier 4. And the current state, the live servers, the tier 3 got everything above tier 4s and tier 5. So I would avoid tier 3. Unless they really do some rebalancing and they actually post a blog post about some changes that they've made. That's when you can probably still jump in the tier 3 and try it. Although I have seen some posts on the Worldwide Enlisted page that some people played tier 3 today and got like Tunisia, which should be, and it sounds like a tier 2, tier 3 game, which it should be pretty fun. And then obviously the last safe bet is just to play a top tier. If you play tier 5 currently, then you'll verse tier 5s and probably someone lower. So that's a guarantee, and tier 1, tier 2 is almost a guarantee. Regards to tier 4, about Soviets and maybe Germans, reasonably okay. If you're in allies and you constantly get up tier to tier 5, it will suck. If tier 4s would get games with tier 3s more often, then that would be more okay. And then we need to address the Pacific. The Pacific state currently, as I haven't tried a single game, I'm just going off what I've read online, is pretty bad. It's so bad to the point where even, I believe, American tier 5s appear in Pacific, where the Japanese doesn't even have tier 5. So Pacific currently I would probably avoid, just as I would try and stay away from tier 3. Tier 4 you can play on your own responsibility, see where it takes you. 1 and 2 should really be fine. And tier 5 obviously should be fine unless you're an American player extremely against versing Tigers. At the current state, that's how it's gonna be. I don't know, bring a plane or something. So that's just the current address of the state, how it was so much different in test server and how it's so much different now in the live server. Again, a low, slow-paced video just to talk with you guys with no allegations or assaulting anyone or not trying to pick a fight with anyone here. So yeah, let me know what has been your experiences, good, bad. I want to hear it all. Share down in the comments below so people know what's your experience, what's the best tiers to play right now. So yeah, hopefully we can get on top of this. And obviously the Enlisted just announced the new locations from Ardennes, which is a shame. You can play from tier 3 and above. So yeah, we'll see when that gets balanced out and those maps actually gonna be fun, hopefully, but that's a totally different story. Thanks again for joining me. Thanks again for listening. I want to see your comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.